I'm sharing my favorite topic in today's episode, and that is how to step into your potential and create what it is that you say you want. The ability to experience a well-rounded life, a beautiful relationship, a thriving business, a loving family, that all exists as a possibility for each and every one of us. But knowing how to bring that to fruition in your life, to close the gap from where you are now to where you want to be, or what you want to experience, or what you want to have, that requires a mental shift. It requires you to let go of beliefs or doubts, behaviors that do not help you and are most often blocking you. Well, today I am explaining how to use the science behind creation to achieve what you want. And it is a science that you can use, which will help you let go of struggle, let go of the heaviness that may be wearing you down. I'm sharing the creative process and how it works. It's coming up next. And this can change your life. Stay with me. Welcome to Shift or Get Off the Pot, the podcast that helps you get out of your head and into action so you can make your dreams your reality. Let's get to it. Have you ever had someone in your life who has made an indelible mark on your life? Someone who has maybe unknowingly helped to shape who you are? Well, I had someone like that show up in my life years ago, way back in high school. I was lucky enough to have a wonderful professor for my 9th grade English class. He was a college professor, but he was temporarily teaching my English class, filling in for his friend who was out for a semester. I never really knew the full story with that, but I do remember thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to get a college professor. This class is suddenly going to become pretty difficult. But that wasn't what happened. In fact, it turned out to be my absolute favorite class in high school. And it's the reason why I ended up becoming an English Lit major in college and started studying human potential. He taught that high school class as if it were a college level philosophy class. It was the one class I looked forward to, and I loved it, partly because he treated us as equals, but also because he opened our minds to thinking beyond our senses. I started questioning a lot about the world and how things operate because he was introducing us to different literary figures who were thought leaders, people like Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau, John Locke, people who started to explore what the mind is truly capable of. He challenged us to stretch our imaginations and explore our own belief systems. He actually introduced us to quantum physics, which, in its simplest terms, is the study of matter and energy in our universe. That class opened my eyes to human potential and the power of our thoughts and beliefs. And it helped me to really start to look at the things that I took for granted. I remember him asking us to consider our homes and think about those homes and how we viewed them. Like, how did we know those homes were going to be there when we left school and walked home? How did we know that that home actually existed? How do we know that the house is where we left it? He challenged us to think in terms of the home as an outpicturing of what was in our minds. our beliefs around that. I know it was very trippy, and it was very trippy at the time, but it was just an extreme way of getting us to start questioning the beliefs that we held on to and the beliefs that were dictating and shaping our lives. That class caused me to start asking deeper questions and explore philosophy, science, and the human mind. I started reading more about Einstein. It was Einstein who proved that energy and matter are the same thing. Well, this fact then starts to tell us that the walls of this world that we live in, everything that we know is our reality, is just an outpicturing of our mind. And we see it because of the speed of light that it's vibrating at. So it appears as a predefined item or world, but it only appears that way. I know that this is nothing new. I know it's not a new discovery, but when you start to think about this, you begin to realize just how important energy and thought are in the creation of what you desire. And so when you realize that energy is never created or destroyed, and that everything in this world is energy, you start to open yourself up to the absolute field of possibilities. And you start to see beyond physical limitations because you start to see that there is an abundance of possibility, and every possibility already exists simply because you've had the thought of it. If you've had the thought of it, then that means that the reality of you becoming a multimillionaire already exists out there in this field of possibilities. Of you having the ideal relationship already exists. Of you being the healthy, fit version of yourself already exists. The reality of you landing that dream client already exists. How could it not exist? If everything in life is energetic in nature and energy is never created or destroyed, then everything is already here. And when you understand this, you can use it to achieve what you want. The ideal home, the perfect relationship, the thriving, profitable business already exists somewhere in this field of possibility. This is the reasoning behind the idea of what you want also wants you. The reasoning behind law of attraction. Because you would not have that desire unless you already had within it the seeds to bring it to fruition. Nothing is ever created or destroyed. Einstein proved that. It's scientific. It is energetic. And it changes the game of life. It shows you that you have unlimited potential, that the only limitations are those you have placed on yourself. Now, of course, it's highly unlikely that you are going to become an Olympic gold medal beach volleyball player when you've never picked up a volleyball before. But could it be possible if it's what you want and you put your energy and effort towards it? Anything worth having requires effort. When you realize and accept the fact that everything is energetic and everything exists as a possibility, you can start to let go of worry, angst, stress, doubt, frustration, or the begging God to make things easier, to give you the perfect person. Oh, please, why not me? How come that person has everything they want? Give me the money. Why does it have to be so much of a struggle? You can let go of all of that. Or the feeling of being desperate for change. You don't have to wish anymore because you now know that you get to demonstrate the reality of what you want. And you do that by giving thanks. You give thanks for a future that has not been manifest yet. Think about this for a moment. If you can easily conjure up a memory from your past, and you can bring that to the forefront of your mind, why not create a future memory of the life that you want to experience? and trust the fact that it's already on its way to you. Can you feel the energy of that experience that future memory holds? Can you feel the emotion of it? This is important in the creation process because we're emotional beings. We have a beautiful gift of emotion that allows us to align with the energy of what we want through the language of feeling. That's a beautiful gift. And it's a beautiful gift that only we as humans have. Can you feel the energy and the emotion of what it would be like to have that huge financial breakthrough, to have the ideal relationship before you even see it, before you see it with your own eyes? This is exactly what Napoleon Hill was talking about in Think and Grow Rich. It's what Wallace Wattles was talking about in his book, The Science of Getting Rich. That was published way back in the early 1900s. This is not new information. None of this is new. There are always going to be buzzwords, buzz phrases that are going to come about. Manifestation, law of attraction, law of vibration, but none of this is new. It's science. It's the science of creation. And if we can align with that, then we can start to do what Dr. Wayne Dyer said. Change your thoughts, change your life. Sounds so simple. But if you understand that everything is already here, everything that you could ever want already exists, even though you may not see it yet. But if you can get it clearly in your mind and you can start to feel it before it actually is in your physical reality, then you move from a reactionary consciousness where your thoughts are just controlled in a reactionary state based on your five senses. You move to a creation consciousness. You're a creative being. You are one with the creative spirit and the energy of this world. And when you move into that field of creative consciousness, you start to recognize that the entire outer world is just a reflection of everything that is going on in your inner world. You've probably heard the saying, you spot it, you got it, because it's a reflection back to you. It's an outpicturing of what's already in your own psyche. That's why Bob Proctor used to say, everything is created twice, first in the mental realm and then in the physical realm. That's why Jim Rohn always said, the architect builds the house first in mind before the foundation is ever poured. It all has to start in mind. So if you look at it in those terms and you go, wait, if I can really get this so clearly in my mind, then I can start to align with it because I can understand that this is already here. It's just now a matter of me starting to adopt the belief that yes, it is energetic in nature and it's already here. Don't you ever just look at some people and you think, how is it that things seem so easy for them? How is it that they have the thought and bam, they say they want something and they're experiencing it? It's like no matter what they want, boom, they get it. They can do it either consciously or maybe even unconsciously. But some people just operate in this field all the time and they don't even think about it because it's mostly just that they've already challenged and released any limiting beliefs that they may have been holding on to, whether it be from society or from past experiences, from their upbringing. Instead, they've been able to let go of those, step out of that, and they start to operate at a different level. They're operating and coming from this elevated level of frequency where they, again, either consciously or unconsciously, just believe that they will achieve or experience that which they want. And they don't even question it. I'm sure you know some people like that. They seem to have the Midas touch, right? It's like things just naturally flow to them. Opportunities seem to just kind of drop in their lap. or they're in the right place at the right time. They may not even be aware that they're doing this, but that can be you too. If you struggle and you think, how is it that I just keep hitting the same level? Or I'm going around in circles. How is it that I'm like a bee in a jar? I'm spinning, and I just keep hitting the same lid. Just stop for a moment. Stop for a moment and take a breath so that you can let go of the control. Let go of the need to fix or to push, to hustle, and realize that the possibilities are right here in front of you, because thoughts are energetic and energy creates. So if you have the thought, you also have the ability to bring that thought to fruition. This isn't theory. It's science. It's been proven. Know that. Accept that. This is the beginning of aligning with that energy, that creative energy. But it's asking us to basically step outside of our mental confines of doubt and limiting beliefs and trust and believe and have faith. We've been so conditioned to believe that life can be tough, it's hard, and can be filled with struggle. The struggle is real. How often have you heard that? Oh, the struggle is real. It's so tough. Money's hard to come by. Everything's so tight. Oh my gosh, it's limited. Oh my gosh, there's so many problems. It's like everything's closing in on me. There's never enough. But when you stop for a moment and you shift your perspective and realize that life doesn't have to be a struggle, that what you want is already here because everything is energy, including you and your thoughts, that opens you up to a whole new view of what is possible. If you knew that every person, every resource, every idea, every opportunity you needed to achieve your dreams is here and it already exists, and if you knew you could not fail, what action would you take? Think about this. If you knew that whatever it is that you wanted to do, you could do. Let's say you wanted to write a book. Let's say you wanted to become an actor. Or let's say you wanted to have a huge, thriving nonprofit where you are helping to change the lives of people in the world. If you knew that you could not fail right at the start, how confident would you be? How would you show up? Would you start that business? Would you go after that nonprofit? Would you start charging the prices that you want to charge? Would you start saving right now? Would you start investing right now, even if it's one dime at a time? Would you? Or would you wait until you had more money or more time or more energy? Would you step into the power of now? The power of, I get to create my reality. I get to have that blessed relationship. I get to have the prosperous business. I get to have the lifestyle that I truly want. If you knew you couldn't fail, you'd be living in a yes mindset. Totally be living in a yes mindset. You'd be moving, as Henry David Thoreau said, confidently in the direction of your dreams and endeavor to live a life you've imagined and to be met with success, unexpected, in common hours. You have the ability to change your thoughts and thereby change your life. Yes, there are going to be limiting beliefs and doubt that pop up because you're human, but you have the power to alter those beliefs. You have free will. And you only get one life. One life, this life. The more you focus on living it the way you desire, staying grateful, always staying grateful, as the saying goes, gratitude is the attitude that sets the altitude for life. So you want to be grateful for any thoughts or beliefs that do arise, because then you have knowledge. And when you have knowledge, then you can make a decision if those beliefs are worth hanging on to or not. That then allows you to create a life you truly want. A life on your terms. Ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really want? And then back it with action. What one step, even if it's a small step, what one action can I take? Because when you step out in action, you demonstrate faith. And faith, even as small as the grain of a mustard seed, is always rewarded. Always. Your part in this equation, the equation of creation, is knowing what you want, believing it's possible, and demonstrating faith by taking some type of action towards it. So if you're sitting there thinking, it's almost the end of the year, and I haven't achieved half the things I said I was going to do at the beginning of this year, or you're thinking, dang, my life is on autopilot. It's like the same old thing over and over again, blah, blah, blah. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace for being aware and acknowledging where you are currently at, and then make a decision to make some changes. Start with the steps I just outlined. What do I want? What action can I take in this moment towards what I want? You are capable of far more than you probably realize, and you are worthy of far more than you probably realize, just by the very fact that you are here on this planet as a living, breathing human being. You have unlimited potential, tremendous potential. Now go have some fun. Have some fun with this and start creating something new in your life. Use these steps. Start to create the life that you truly want, the life on your terms. I'll be back with you again in a couple of days. Thanks so much for joining me here today. If you want some help achieving your goals, you can grab the Success Bundle link down below, or head over to my website, KimKelleyThompson.com, where I have several free resources to help you. If you like what you've heard today, please consider hitting that subscribe button and join me throughout the week for episodes that will help you make your dreams your reality. I'll be back again soon with another edition of Shift or Get Off the Pot.